Hello everybody! Today we're going to be going over blue-white soldiers. It's been a little bit since I did any coverage of Standard. I've been focusing on Brothers War, just loving Draft. But as we get kind of into the later segment of things, I like to switch over to Standard until the new set comes out, which is coming out on February 7th. So if you've been playing Standard, you definitely have bumped into blue-white soldiers. So I want to give you kind of my take on it. The core is made up of all just creature spells. There's very little interaction in the deck, and you aim to curve out playing a soldier every single turn. Everything in the deck is a soldier. And I've tweaked the lands a little bit, which I'll go over in a second, but you've got some really cool stuff going on with these cards. Thalia is classic. It helps answer blue control decks. The Valiant Veteran has been very impressive, boosting all of your board, giving everything +1/+1. Recruitment Officer gives you good late game resources to use as a mana sink. Frontliner has been pretty decent as well, just to apply additional pressure, and you can use it to unearth and give something +1/+1. Has been nice. This card is awesome if you can throw it down on turn 2 as a 3/2 flyer. It's also awesome later in the game when you have 5 soldiers and can pump everything. Because of its difficult mana cost, I think that it's best run as 3, and I think a lot of people seem to agree with that. Siege Veteran has really great soldier synergies, gives +1/+1 counters, and whenever one of your soldiers gets removed, you get 1/1s back in place, so you can survive depopulates and things like that usually are hard for aggro decks to recover from. And then you have Sky Strike Officer, which just helps create a wider board. Every time this attacks, it creates a 1/1, and then you can tap 3 soldiers to draw cards. So it gives you kind of a late game resource draw, similar to Recruitment Officer. So the tech cards, if you will, I think the flex spots kind of go from there. So some people are running Dinnick. Dinnick is very useful because it makes it so that cards can't be the target of spells or abilities in graveyards. So this kind of gets rid of the artifact reanimation deck. And if you're playing in best of 3, then I definitely think this should be included. I think in best of 1, I'm going to avoid playing it just because I haven't been coming up against that very much. But again, I'm in the lower ranks of Standard right now, just returning to it. I decided to cut the Brutal Cathar from the deck, and this is usually the one form of removal that the deck has. And instead, I've found the only card that I've really been bumping into that is so problematic that I would really wish I had a Cathar is Phyrexian Fleshgorger, played for the prototype as a 3/3 menace with lifelink. It's really unfortunate there isn't any way to get rid of something in this deck. But really, this deck aims to end the game very quickly, so I haven't bumped into any bombs. But that's something to keep in mind, is that if you are bumping into things that you need to remove, I think Brutal Cathar is a great option. In the trenches is being run. The deck on MTGA Zone is running 2 copies, and I decided that there's enough of an anthem coming from Valiant Veteran that I didn't really need to add this, especially because I'm going to be moving a little bit more towards a blue deck instead of it being primarily white. So the double pip in white can be problematic. Plaza of Heroes is a card that I've seen people playing in the lands, 2 for MTGA Zone, 1 for Untapped, and I don't really want this. I feel like it's limited. You can use it to save one of your legendaries, but I think in the decks that want this, you're running more Myrals. You're running more legendary targets for this to hit, and then it makes more sense as an inclusion. The I want to add some, instead of Cathar, I've found what I want to do is I want to evade my opponent's interaction. So what I want to try out is running Slip Out the Back. And because we are going to be running secluded courtyards, which only work for creature spells, there is a little bit of a non-synergy here. And the other two that I'm going to bring in is Zephyr Sentinel. And Zephyr Sentinel, I think, is going to give me, between Slip Out the Back and Zephyr Sentinel, I get good evasion for protecting my busted soldier cards. And then also, Slip Out the Back can be used to eliminate a blocker, which has come into play. The other thing, too, that I've seen some people running, some people not running, MTGA Zone is not running Resolute Reinforcements, and I think this is great for the Harbin go wide. I've also found it to be good at removing my opponent's recruitment officers if they, in the mirror match, if they attack into it. So it's nice to have the 1/1 token be able to block the 2/1, and I've definitely been trying to play around that when I find myself in the mirror match. And then Sky Strike Officer, I'm going to bump it up to 4. So you can see we brought in Slip Out the Back and Zephyr Sentinel and a Sky Strike Officer, so that's 5 more blue cards. So I've tweaked the lands to kind of reflect that. There's quite a bit of variation in the land base, and this may not be the best final version for it. I think a Gonjo is clearly a keep, Odawara is clearly a keep, and then a Darkar Wastes, I've seen some running 4 of these. Fortified Beachheads, I've found while playing this deck, if you have an empty hand and you draw this, it can be problematic because it comes into play tapped, and then you're unable to use it to cast your spells. But it's reasonably flexible enough. And then Secluded Courtyard, you know, the only spell in the deck is Slip Out the Back, so I've found that Secluded Courtyard has worked really well. But I could see tweaking down Fortified Beachhead and adding in another Adakar Waste, and then I tweaked the amount of plains down and the islands down. So the final count is 14 white, 13 blue, and and then my role, it kind of varies between 1, 2, and 3. So 2 in MTGA Zone, 3 in some versions on Untapped, and then 1 in some of the decks that I found on MTG Goldfish. So I'm going to take this up to 2. I've found it to be a very impressive card. Making it so that they can't play anything during your turn can get around counter spells, and it also works really well to defend against the Planeswalker, the Flash Planeswalker, Wandering Emperor. Playing this so that they have to use it before combat means that they can't exile your target. And so that's been really nice, and I might even tweak this up to 3 over a Sky Strike Officer. But the last thing I think that's worth mentioning is that some people are running Mishra's Foundry. MTGA Zone, there's 1 copy of Mishra's Foundry, and this can be a nice inclusion to get around the control decks. So I hope that gives you a good idea of where I'm approaching Blue-White Soldiers, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so we have Thalia, Resolute Reinforcements, Harbin. The Secluded Courtyards are Rainbow, so we're going to be able to cast either Thalia or Harbin on turn 2, and then turn 3 Sky Strike, and then turn 4 whatever we didn't play. So this looks pretty good as long as we draw 1 land. Soldier. Yeah, I think that it's definitely louder than it used to be, but I've been trying to run mine a little bit louder. So in the mirror match here, Thalia is not as important as Harbin, since they don't really have any spells. So Thalia is more as a defensive blocker with First Strike. And we have a Harbin versus Harbin match-off. Alright. Valiant doesn't really let us get around the enemy Harbin. Could let us hit for 1 additional damage. Let's see if they just trade. Okay, they're going for the trade. Hopefully that allows us to more openly attack with Sky Strike Officer in the air. Oh my goodness, it's a mirror match. Okay, so one thing that we can do is we can use Gonjo to blow up the enemy Sky Strike Officer, which might be the right move considering how powerful that card is. Alternatively, we could play out Resolute Reinforcements and Recruitment Officer and get a card draw, which could help us get additional resources. And I think I like the more aggressive play of not worrying about it. That could be wrong. I guess I'm going to go with the Valiant Veteran and go aggressive. And then we've got Resolute Reinforcements, which we can flash in, draw a card, and just go for the aggro play. That's not great. Okay. Flash these bad boys in. Draw a card. Nice. Okay, so we can go with Sky Strike Officer here and just go super wide. I think we can send the tokens. I think I'm fine with that, especially because we'll have 3 soldiers to tap anyway for the creation of Sky Strike here. Just try to push as much maximum damage as possible. Okay, so can confirm. Can you look at, would you mind looking at yesterday's video and see if it's about the same volume or if it's coming in louder as well? Maybe I'll take it down to there. Still seems about right. Thank you, I appreciate it, Shock. They didn't want to. Why didn't they? They should have blocked something for free with the 3/3. We've got lethal threatening here. Okay, gonna go for blocking with the 3/4, I take it. Could have resolute reinforcements here. I think we go with the slowest approach, go with the double reinforcements and hope it's wide enough. I don't want to risk the veteran. If we attack all here, it could be lethal. But the fact that they didn't play anything makes me think that they're going to do something. They could have a Gonjo, play around, so we don't want to risk losing our buffs on everything. I could block a 3/4 Sky Strike Officer here. Okay, Shock. Well, I turned it down a little bit just in case. It did seem like it was maybe coming in a little too spicy. This is good for us. I mean, we clear their board. They should tap to draw. Okay. Ooh. I did not play around Otawara. If I'd played Thalia, they would have had to bounce before I attacked. So we're gonna lose some things here. They take 4 damage though. Hopefully we can go wide enough. I'm going to flash the resolute reinforcements in. And then play Valiant Veteran, and that should be game. Okay, they're playing a Valiant Veteran of their own. And this is why I think the Resolute Reinforcements are a good addition to the deck. The absolute go wide aspect. Boom, there we go. Okay, so we have a turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and we've got protection. Pretty good. This works better on the play, though, so that we can use this on the Cathar target. Easy keep, though. Alright. See if they have... Well, they didn't have any pause there. So against control, I think we just go fast and play the Valiant here. Could play another recruitment officer, but I think this is fine. Gets in for an additional damage. Okay, Graveyard Trespasser. So I feel like this is where we slam Siege Veteran and start going as aggressively as we can. They can crew the Bank Buster, so we don't want to risk the Veteran anyway. So we'll just attack here. It's pretty good for us. It spawns a 2/2. Double Siege Veteran allows us to send the 2/2 in, and then we can just play Recruitment Officer. That's a pretty nice draw. Could have also done it on the Siege Veteran. Okay, Liliana here. Each person sacrifices a creature. We can just sacrifice Recruitment Officer. Sleeper, they can still crew. Interesting that they decided to attack there. Don't think I like them. Now they can't crew the Bank Buster. Trade a 1/1 there, that seems fine. Play Thalia here. And then let's see here. Yeah, GG's. Okay, so we have a 1, 2, 3, then Zephyr again. That seems pretty good. All of my flash creatures. Now if they do have removal for frontliner here, we can move it. Could also just remove it anyway because it doesn't attack well into the underdog, which I don't mind. Just playing it as a 3/2 flyer has its own perks. Now, Thalia. We could play out Thalia. I think Skystrike... Well, against black, they're going to have removal. So... I think I'm going to play the Thalia. I learned my mistakes. This card's pretty awesome. Skystrike's pretty nice too, but... Okay, so there, we drew some removal. Don't need to block. We're happy to race damage. Man, Valiant Veteran hit for 6, take them to 8. It's pretty tempting. I'm gonna wait though. Really wish I'd hit a land that turn. Really strange that they're attacking here. Maybe they have a wipe, a board wipe or something? Draw. Okay, so we could hit them for 6, 7, 8. So they would be at 1 HP. I played the Valiant. Probably just play a Siege Veteran here. Pump up Sky Strike Officer. Hit for 6. Now if they invoke Despair here, go to 9. That makes it 7, 8, 9. All right. Well, they have a Fading Hope. Debating about whether or not to bounce the Recruitment Officer, I take it. In full control, if I decide not to reveal, they could bounce it, I believe. More mono blue. Counterspell? I think we go for the Sky Strike Officer, the next turn we just flood the board and go Valiant. It probably gets counterspelled here. What are they doing? Uh-oh, they in trouble. We're hitting for 10 next turn. Play Jin, maybe? Yeah, there's the Jin. So if they have a creature spell, or sorry, if they have a spell, then they can still block Sky Strike, which is a bummer. Oh, I know these were tapped. Go wide. I think they have a, no. I think they might have had a 1-cost spell there. Otherwise, we could have attacked for free to get one more 1/1. All right. Can't attack me. No way. I haven't really played the mono blue very much. Another one? Okay, that's a bit of a problem. So they can block 2. Right now we're looking at 12 damage. 13 damage with recruitment. Well, holy smokes. My roll is pretty nice here. Do they have a counterspell? Alright. If I attack with everything, I lose 2. Valiant Veteran is likely to pull removal. Let's see if they have the removal from Myral. Myral simplifies a lot of things. Okay. I think we wait a turn then. Or do I just go for it now? We would hit for 6, they'd go to 8. Play Valiant Veteran without them being able to do anything. Pretty tempting. They could play a bunch of spells and then kill us with the Djinn. At 6 damage, they go to 8. Valiant Veteran, pump lethal, or Fortified Beachhead, pump lethal. I think I'm just going to go with the obscene amount of card draw. Could be the wrong choice. They do get to chain a bunch of spells here, so we might have to block with Sky Strike Officer. Yeah, they're looking for a phase out or something. He dead. Time is very limited. I'd have to play 3 spells, they have 3 mana, or 4 spells, they have 3 mana. I'm gonna go with no blocks. Alright, so they have 2 blockers. So again, that's just 12 damage. We need to find a phase out here to cast. If we can top deck a phase out, I think it's lethal. Ooh, Harbin might be able to do it too. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I could play out Myral. Then that's not quite enough. I think we gamble on them not having enough sauce and go with Harbin being lethal. Doesn't look like they had a pause. Harbin for the win. Let's go. All right, these are better for later, but they can still work. Well, I guess that's what we're playing. Not the best. Against Esper, we really want that Thalia. Hey, look at that. Can we get it down, or did I already miss my opportunity? Counterspell, make disappear would be really brutal. It's likely just gonna get killed though. Hark! It resolved. Wow, no play, huh? Wow, do we just do double Valiant Veteran here? So, 2 spells, way too tempting. Gets out of Brotherhood's end range too. Corpse Appraiser for an answer. They go to 1 HP. We're going to make them have to block. This makes them have to block. Alright, let's see if they can top deck an answer here. Burn down the house! Oh no! Can I cast this? Okay, I can. Hey, there we go. Your wrath means nothing. Okay, we got 2 lands, and then we've got a lot of 2-drops. Decent. Okay, so on turn 2, hopefully draw a land for this turn 3. Otherwise, just playing a bunch of Valiant Veterans hasn't been terrible. Worked well that last game. Opponent taking some time here to decide on what to mulligan or not to mulligan. talk, Clarice. Hey, they're back. Phoenix Chick, 2/2 flyer, okay. Playing against the aggro red burn deck. Mechanized Warfare, okay. Oh, I like this. Go slamity slam, slamity slam. And they are done! Alright, thanks for watching my YouTube video, everybody. You made it to the end. The 50 game summary. I want to play at least 50 games with each deck that I showcase here on YouTube. And we went 29 and 21, 58%. I think, you know, with learning the meta, I definitely made some mistakes, and you could perform higher than that. I did like the slip out the back. I felt like that was a clever little include, and I definitely liked the Zephyr Sentinel. Being able to flash this in as an additional flyer definitely caught my opponent off guard, and you can use it to trade against a valuable resource like Harbin, and I liked the inclusions. You can see that we typically, as you would expect, we had a 61% on the play, higher on the play than the draw. Still, overall, considering how poorly I piloted the deck, I can see why Azorius Soldiers is the top meta pick right now. We crushed mono red, which feels good. I came up against the mono red burn deck a lot, and as you can see, the secret is not a secret, right? 11 matches against our mirror match. Some of this was Azorius control, but definitely played a lot of games against the soldier deck as well. We dominated the mid-range Grixis deck, which felt really good, and we lost some of these. These are just kind of like they don't really mean too much, right? Small sample size anyway. So thanks for enjoying the video. Remember to hit like and subscribe. And next week we'll be focusing on, I think, mono red burn. If you have a specific archetype that you would like to see, let me know in the comments below, and I'd be happy to do that. And yeah, see you guys later.